Yeah, my dad started the business with my grandfather back in January of 1980. So it started as a real small tackle shop, and that was it. Actually, we're looking at the original size. It was just our fishing department. Just tackle, had 4 or 5 employees. Basically, my dad ran it. My grandfather was one that funded it in a sense. And every 5, 6, 7, 8 years, sales would be good. So right where you're standing was a wall. They knocked the wall down, expanded over. Then another 8, 9, 10 years later, they knocked down the wall way behind us, and then they doubled the size of the store. And then they expanded into the outside area where that big safe room is that you walked into. So it's still 100% family owned. Me, my wife, and my mom kind of manage the store along with 30 of the best employees that you could ever ask for.
Retro bassin', kicking some assin', wearing rayon jackets. Thinking about Bill Dance, watching these fish prance through my Ray-Ban glasses. Ain't nothing better than 40-year-old lures coming off of Zepco 33. Out on the bass boat, making beer cans float, doing some trespassing. Fishing it old school, this old stuff rules. Welcome to Retro Bassin'.
Welcome to Retro Bassin'. I'm coming at you live, well not live anymore, but live enough from the parking lot of a very special tackle shop in Birmingham, Alabama. I happened to be in Birmingham for a couple of quick days, and I reached out to second generation owner Mark Whitlock to talk about doing a little Retro Bassin' expose on this place. We're gonna spend some time talking to Mark Jr. about the history of Mark's Outdoors. We're also gonna follow Jacob around the fishing tackle section as he shows us some rather hard to find tackle, including some rarities from overseas. Stick around.
My dad passed about 13 years ago. At that time, I was actually in college. So I finished out college and then basically immediately came here to work. My sister worked here for a couple of years, just decided hunting and fishing just wasn't something she really wanted to do. So after college, I pretty much came here immediately. Originally, that was actually not my plan. I was actually doing an aviation and mechanical engineering degree, and kind of with everything that happened, I was like, well, I had a calling to come here. So I kind of put those things to the side and started doing the retail side of things. It's been fantastic. I mean, literally, there's worse things you could do besides selling hunting and fishing gear to guys. While on one sense, we want guys that know how to sell, but on the other hand, the only way you know how to sell it is if you use it on the day-to-day basis and you're around it 24/7. So while I have my frustrations with these guys always taking days off to go fishing, it's part of it. I mean, that's for them to know, for the guy that comes in and goes, man, like I'm wanting some new baits. I don't know what are they catching on Gunnersville? All of a sudden those guys go, man, I fished a tournament there 2 weeks ago. Here's what I'm catching. Here's what I'm using. Here's the water levels. Here's the temperature. So while I would love to have them here selling more and more, but it helps them to be out in the field and talk to the customers, not in a retail setting, but actually basically on the real side of things. So it works really well for us. We're very blessed where we have guys that come from out of state to come here just because we have the weirdest tackle selection you'll ever see. We have stuff that's the plain Jane stuff you can get from a big box store, but then we have, like you had probably looked at, that JDM section. Jacob, that's the main reason we have that, is because he went, I go to all these tackle stores, but there's one thing I never see, and it's a lot of this Japanese stuff that nobody has. So we procured that through a unique way of getting it here, but usually when people come in, they turn the corner and go, I've never seen that. I can't even read that. But those fishing guys are obsessed with that kind of stuff because they know when they pull that out of the tackle box, no one's ever seen it before, and all their buddies go, what are you fishing with? So, and I joked with a guy this morning, I said, if you throw that in the water, I guarantee you the bass is gonna look at that and go, never seen that before. Wonder how that tastes.
All right, here with Jacob in the tackle department at Mark's Outdoors, standing in front of what is perhaps the most epic Megabass display I have ever seen. So this place, before I even talked to the crew, I was kind of walking around to get my bearings, and there are just rows and rows and aisles of stuff that you will not find anywhere else. So I'm gonna pop the camera off the tripod and follow Jacob around as he shows you some of the epic stuff that is both US based and OUS based available here at Mark's. All right, so this wall is insane, man.
Yeah, we've got a good selection. We can honestly probably fit a little bit more in here, but probably might need to work on that. But we've got all kinds of fantastic Megabass stuff from all the soft baits, the dyno responses, the mag drafts. Of course, we've got the new 5-inch mag draft over there. We'll probably slide up, but being new, we've got it on an end cap up there. But then we get some of the limited edition stuff like the Lates, which is like a shallow running, similar to like a wake bait. It's got a real good rolling action. You can throw it around lay down trees and stuff. But we've got pretty much everything that Megabass makes or they offer in the US we're going to carry here. And then we have all the Respect colors, all the limited stuff. We get that. There's only a few accounts that get that stuff, and we're one of them. We stock every color. I mean, you could probably name one off right now and I could pick it up for you, but if we don't have one here, it's just because we're currently sold out. And there's some other stuff we have that you probably won't see in other places, like the IU Twitchers, which is similar to that like soft style glide bait. You're not going to find those anywhere else. And if you look close enough, you'll see the price tags on the front of them, and you'll know those probably didn't come from here. So not many people realize that.
And you probably have to sell a few Megabass baits for them to give you one of these signs, huh?
Yeah, for sure. We used to have 2 Megabass end caps, and then Ryan, he's one of the head guys there at Megabass. We've been talking about doing this for years, and so last year we actually made the change and put this wall up. So it's been great. It changed everybody. Everybody used to come in here and know exactly where everything was, and then they walk in like, where are the Jerkbaits? They don't ask where's the Megabass or where's the Berkley. They always say, where are the Jerkbaits? And you point over here. We don't point to any other jerkbaits. So this is what the jerkbait everybody's looking for when they come in to buy a jerkbait. So, but it's impressive. Like I said, we have some holes. I'll probably fill them up. We had all the Big M stuff, and then Brandon won down there at Okeechobee, and we sold all those. But I'll probably sneak in some more stuff here to fill a little bit of the holes. This was our old Megabass display right here, and we have another one in the back. We're actually going to change this up too and build it similar to the other style end caps. But if you look on here, there's tons of cool stuff, Japanese stuff you won't find anywhere else. Like the Jackal Jimmy Hens, that's kind of like that dice style, slow fall, real finesse technique. That got real popular when Taku won at Smith Lake, which is an hour up the road. So we try to carry that stuff. And then all the minnow style baits, you got like D styles. You know, obviously the Deps Sakamata shad, that's our #1 selling soft plastic.
What the heck is this?
That's
this
another,
is the first thing I saw when I came in.
So that's another, I would say like slow fall, weightless, soft plastic you're gonna use. I would personally use this maybe for like really, really pressured fish. And we've got a lot of that. I mean, everybody here fishes. We've got 200, 300 boat tournaments every weekend around here. So these fish are super pressured. So anything different like that is very important, you know, that you're going to maybe get some bites that.
And what is that rig? So and what's the name of this bait? Because I have seen this on Instagram a lot lately.
Yeah, this is the Hideup. So it's another dice style. I mean, I don't know a crawfish presentation or what you really are targeting with that, but it does work, and it's a technique that not a lot of people have spent a lot of time with yet. But
and that's a special rig just for it, huh? So it's got like a little.
So this is it's a Zappu. It's a collaboration between Zappu and Ryugi. It's a Ryugi talisman hook, but you can actually clip on any swiveled weight onto this. So I think that's a 5/16, but you could go from a 16th all the way up to a 3/4. But it's a cool way to be able to change your weight. This stuff's made of that TPE type material, so it's hard to put a weight like a nail weight or something in it, and it floats. So sometimes you've got to use a pretty heavy weight. But
how do you even fish that? Just out of curiosity, what's the technique?
If I was going to fish that, it's probably going to be like post spawn when they're garden fry and stuff. Maybe on like around lay down trees or somewhere where stumps, something where I think a fish is guarding fry. And it doesn't look like it, but it's a pretty aggressive presentation. It's got all those legs, appendages sticking out off of it, but I've caught tons of fish doing it. So, and it's not something that everybody's just going to come in here and buy, so the fish aren't seeing it every day. But of course we got all the OSP dice. We got the G-Crack Q bombs down there. This is just this end cap's always a place where you can come in and find something you're probably not going to see at any other store. And then it's another cool thing we've got here. It's a bobbin. It's actually made for saltwater lures, but this is what a lot of guys use to make their own dice. So it's a little threader. I've got one up there. I can show you how to use it, but they're like $10. So you could take a Cinco or something and make your own dice, so you don't have to buy them. But you probably won't see those anywhere else in Alabama. But of course, there's all the Crush City stuff. We sell tons of that. You know, Dustin Connell lives here in Clinton, so he's got a lot of followers in this area, and winning that red crest at Lay Lake on that Mooch Minnow he had a lot of hype built up around that bait, so it's done really well for us. And then something we should probably do more of, we don't go all in on, is like the glide baits, the real expensive $200 and up. We do have some, but we're not really the place where guys are going to come spend $300 on a bait. This is the place where people come spend $300 and have a basket full, and they're getting ready to fish a tournament. So we should probably do more, but we carry like the clutch. My friend Josh, he owns a company called Tattoo Designs. He's in Onion, Alabama. It's a handmade glide bait. They're really cool. There's the new 5-inch mag drafts. We've got a few colors left. We've sold out a bunch. We're gonna have some more here in June, and then like I said, we've got stuff packed in here. I mean, you look down every aisle, stuff from top to bottom. We got all the Berkley stuff, 6 cents, tackle, I mean, Jackal, we've got it all. Bill Lewis, we still carry tons of the old school stuff. That's, you know, one thing that we're gonna have everything that you need, whether it's like a 1/4 ounce chrome and blackback trap, we're gonna have that, but we're also gonna have all this cool stuff too. So we try to blend it in, and me and John try to, maybe I stay on top of the newer stuff and the different stuff, and he makes sure we have all this stuff, which is a good mix. So
Everybody I talk to, I always ask them, well, so what's your favorite color trap around here?
Man, probably chartreuse, something chartreuse.
So just straight chartreuse, a little bit of blue, or?
Probably, I like a chartreuse with like a powder blue back. It's kind of hard to find, but like something like that. I have a lot of them that I've got custom painted, but something chartreuse with a blue back. We've got a lot of spotted bass here, and they love chartreuse. So that's something I definitely throw. And then another impressive thing here is this is called the worm wall. We have worms everywhere, but this thing spans from Yamamoto and then come all the way down. And keep in mind, there's worms on every end cap too, but all the way around to here. So you got Reaction, Missile, Zoom, and Yamamoto just on that one wall, and it's, I don't know, probably 120 feet long. Maybe more than that, but Reaction's been a great company. We've sold them here for a long time. I'm 27. I've worked here since I was 14 in high school, and then my dad worked here before me. So I've been around here my whole life, and Reaction has, like Zoom and stuff, but Reaction has been here as long as I can remember. So, and they're in Calera, Alabama. We're good friends with all of them, so we always got the new stuff. We typically get it maybe a couple days before everybody else because we're so close. And then we've got some basic stuff like your crappie fishing and brim fishing stuff. That'll all get kicked off when kids get out of school. You'll walk through here and all the rooster tails are sold out, you know, but we carry a little bit of saltwater stuff. We don't go too heavy in that, but like here's some Duo Realis, spy baits. These are the glide baits my friend Josh makes. It's called an Eon.
Ooh.
Like $179.
And is he local?
Yep, yeah.
Oh wow, that's a good looking bait.
Mm-hmm. He hand paints everything. He does a great job.
Ooh.
And then he'll make us some special colors. Like I've sent him some ideas before of, well, they're all taped up, but that was like a dark gizzard shad color he did for us. So he's always open to doing whatever I ask him.
Oh, that's very cool. What's his website?
Tattoodesigns.com. TADDO. We have spinnerbaits from all different manufacturers. We've got local guys, people you probably never heard of, and then we have a lot of like the big name stuff you'll probably see in Bass Pro Shops, Academy and stuff. But we've got Picasso. He does a lot of cool stuff he still does some of the titanium wire that you can't really find anymore. We got Greenfish. This is the Dirty Jigs compact spinnerbait. One thing that since I've been here since I was a kid is the unpacked spinnerbaits. It's a little hard maybe if you're not from around and you're not in here and don't know, but it's hard to really figure it out. You know, which one's a 3/8, which one's a half and all that, but we get a bunch of questions about it. But being unpackaged, you get to really pick it up, look at it, maybe play with a trailer and find something you like. But the main reason we do it is just so you can fit more. So we have, you know, I'd say we probably have 25% more, maybe 30% more baits on the wall just because we'll unpackage them. Now some of them we don't, but like all the War Eagles and stuff, we sit there and hand unpack every single one of them and hang them up. So it's a pain in the butt, and it's hard.
They come packaged?
Yeah. So like this right here, that's when John gets lazy and doesn't want to unpack it, he'll just price it and put it out.
So it comes like that, and you turn it into that.
Yeah, unpack it and.
Okay.
You know, like I know because I've been here for so long exactly what size is where and how it's organized, but for somebody coming in for the first time, you'd probably have to ask us for some help. But that's a good thing too, because we'll walk over here and sell you something else you probably don't need. But we've got War Eagles, the spot sticker stuff, he's in Georgia, the Shimano Spinnerbaits. There's all kinds of cool sneaky stuff too. If you look around, like Blade Man, that's a guy out of North Carolina, they're hand tied.
Ooh, hold on. Man, that almost looks like a man's classic.
Yeah, that's actually.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, the Hank Parker spinnerbait. That's one of my favorite spinnerbaits, and there's not many twisted line tie spinnerbaits. So.
Ooh, yeah. But it's gold. That's unique.
Yeah, it's good quality stuff there. And then one of the local people that his son fishes and Bassmaster is William Davis. His son William Davis Jr. fishes on the Elite Series, but he makes Davis spinnerbaits and jigs, which have been around for a long time. But he's got tons of different variations to, like, you know, stuff you can burn around like seawalls and stuff, and they're not going to roll. So he spends a lot of time, and he's got some good help with Will Jr. helping him with that. But he's got all different head shapes and stuff, and
there's some big heads. What's that top one? That's on that white one. Holy stuff.
Yeah, it's like a 3/4 or 1 ounce. Guys will throw that around brush piles or in the current. So he's got a spinnerbait for all different kinds of applications. So, and he'll make us anything we want. So if we called and said, hey, we need a 1/4 ounce with a purple and chartreuse skirt with orange blades on it, he'll have them up here in a week. So he's always been a real popular brand. You could tell they're wiped out. We sell tons of them. So, and then jigs too. We have Picasso, Coosa Custom Baits, Dirty Jigs, Missile. We've got the Arc, which they make the rods, but they also make jigs now. We've got their stuff, and then you'll see the Davis, all the yellow package stuff here. This is all Davis, and it's crammed in here. It's hard to just walk in here and pick something out. But
wow. And he's a local guy?
Yep, he's in Sylacauga, probably an hour away from here. He hand makes all of it here. None of this is made overseas.
Does he sell it anywhere else, or are you guys the exclusive?
He sells to a couple of dealers, but I don't think anybody carries a selection of his stuff like we do. A bait that's real popular here, fishing around the current, is a scrounger. And Davis makes those for us, so that's another bait that he's making.
Different looking scrounger, actually.
Yeah, so he leaves them unpackaged. Okay. If you package them and you try to put them in a tackle box or something, you'll actually bend your bills.
You'll bend the bill.
Yeah. So he leaves them unpackaged like that. So pretty good idea. Or like these, once they put them on and they stretch that material to get it on, and it's kind of stressed, if you don't use it over a couple months, it'll actually tear. So it's good having him leaving them, I guess, off the jig head. Then all the Dirty Jigs guppy jig heads. There's a big wall. This is tons of minnow style baits right here. Some more Black Label stuff. All the Z-Man, that stuff sells really well. 6 cents. And then here's Keitech's. Normally you can walk over here to the Keitech swim baits and half of it's sold out. We must have just got an order in. So Keitech, we've got all these other paddle tail swim baits, but Keitech seems to be the day in and day out seller for us. So we always try to keep it stocked up. And then buzz baits, we got Boogerman, Accent, Nichols. We've got Davis.
Boogerman, they just came back out with that somewhat recently, right?
Yeah, just I'd say a couple years ago.
Ooh, okay. I met them at ICAST.
Yeah, it seems to be pretty similar quality. I mean, anytime something gets discontinued and brought back out, people always say it's not the same. In my opinion, that bait's pretty similar to the old Boogerman. Now, some of the blades, like that gold, the old Boogerman used to have a real flashy gold. That one's more of a matte finish, but I think it's still pretty good quality. And then chatterbaits, we got jackhammers, mini maxes, the new Evos, and then like here's another thing. If you sneak around and look, that's
what is this?
A Japanese brand chatterbait.
That is not a made in Alabama price.
No,
is it?
No, that is not. So if somebody knows what they're looking for, if you look for those little yen tags on the front of them, you'll know that you're not going to find that anywhere else. So.
And what time do you guys close tonight?
6 o'clock. Yeah. 6 o'clock. So there's all kinds of stuff snuck in here. We got a good selection of black label stuff. You're not going to walk in many tackle stores and be able to buy that. And he'll come up with all kinds of cool colors and stuff for us. He'll do little short runs that you may not be able to buy on his website or buy in other stores. And then this Fish Co. crankbait is branded as Davis baits, but Cliff Pace is making them for him. So it's a good bait too. And then,
wow, can I see? Ooh,
yeah.
Okay.
The Davis Bait Company does a tournament here locally at Lay Lake every October. It's no entry fee, so all right, we'll see you. So you don't have to pay an entry fee, but you can only use Davis baits. And so having that crankbait, you got spinnerbaits, buzz baits, jigs, shaky head worms. I mean, he makes all kinds of stuff. We got some Ricos right there. We like I said, man, we got stuff shoved everywhere.
Well, I love you got the Ricos right next to the spooks.
Yeah.
So like the super old school there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We have the old cotton cordels.
And like even the headings, you see headings everywhere. I've never seen that color.
Yeah, I think that's a.
What the heck?
So I want to say this is a distributor exclusive. So there's only, I think, one distributor that sells that exact color, or maybe
Almost
that
looks
style.
like honestly like a Japanese style head and all that. It's got that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
No
walk
skeleton
without.
finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
What the heck is this? I've been seeing this a ton.
Yeah.
I really don't know a ton about it, but
Yeah,
who
I don't-
makes that and what the heck is it?
This is Hideup Coke or Coke, but so like an elastomer type bait.
I mean,
They
look
used
at the
to sell
packaging. So you just get one of these per
before.
package.
Yeah, before Spro actually started distributing those. And before Spro, those were selling online for around $50 a piece. So now that Spro's distributing them, you can buy them for about $18. So
And
still
you fish this
expensive.
the same way.
Yeah, with that Ryugi and Zapu talisman combination up there. But there's tons of options, man. I mean, you could fish
Can't
on
put
a
too
drop
many of those
shot.
in one tackle box, huh?
No, and I mean, honestly, you don't want to bend all these legs up too. So a lot of guys will leave it in the package, or when they're done fishing with it, put it back in the package. So there's a lot of colors. We're really sold out of like green pumpkin and watermelon, but there's one angler in particular that came in here and bought all the green pumpkin and watermelons out. I'm not going to spit his name out, but he came in here and bought them all. And then, of course, people were looking for them, and he bought them all. So then here's like you talk about like the reaction stuff. Being local, we'll get some of the stuff you can't find anywhere else. This is some of a color they did for the Classic last year. It's a green pumpkin, black and blue with some red mix.
Ooh.
Not going to find those at any other tackle
And
store.
it's a classic special.
Yeah, he only does it for the Classic. So we've got big bulk packs of them down there. All the frogs. This is maybe, let's see, what is it, March now? This hasn't really taken off yet, but you're gonna see, man, you come around May, June, like this thing's gonna be wiped out. And we carry snag proof, copper red baits, teckle, scum frog. There's 6 cents. All the Deps, Buster and Slither K's. That's one of my favorite frogs. This is a cool one you're not gonna see. So Jackal used to make an Iobi, and they got discontinued. Well, Ken Iobi, that designed the Iobi frog, started his own brand, 10 feet under. This is a bait he's brought back similar to the Iobi frog, very similar. It's called a Forbee, but made in Japan. You can read the writing. They're not speaking English, but you're not gonna find those at Academy Sports. So all the Berkley, the Swamp Lords, ever since Jordan Lee won that tournament at Kissimmee, we have been sold out of those frogs. So we've got some right now because it's not necessarily frog season, but I'm sure those will take back off. River to Sea frogs, Terminator, Molix, Jackal, Booyah. So we've got a lot crammed in a little small space. Rivet frogs. Yeah. So that's like a walking style frog when you wind it. You ever see it?
A reverse Arbogast jitterbug.
Yeah, it's like the crawlers too. Like all the crawlers they'll make. Deps makes good crawlers, but it's got that same crawling type action. It's a little slow, so it's something you can throw like on a maybe around a laydown tree or a little clump of grass and fish it with a lot of action, but it's really slow. So if there's a fish there, you can call them up and get them to come bite it. Yeah, you can see it says soft crawler bait on there, but there's some good colors in it. But a little different, some innovation that maybe you don't get out of the United States.
It's really cool to see some of the customers that have been coming in here forever. The biggest compliment that I could ever have is people say, hey, it's ran just like Senior ran it. I'll never be my dad. I just don't ever have that expectations because he was a 1 in a million guy. There was times when we were on family vacations and he said, I'd rather be at work. There's only one person in my entire life that I know that said I'd rather be at work than doing anything else, and that was my dad. I'm not quite like that, but it was just his obsession. I mean, I could see that when you started with 3, 4, 5 guys and then expanded it to what it is today. He definitely had that connection here, and it is cool to be able to kind of continue that legacy just kind of in my own way. But I mean, I've got some employees that have been here for 20, 25, 30 plus years, and those guys love it, they breathe it, and honestly, retail has its ups and downs. Most people that have ever worked in retail or owned retail will understand that, but honestly, the fun part is experiencing everything that hunting and fishing has to offer to our customers and them telling us the stories that they have. Because people go, oh, you must go hunting and fishing all the time. I go, no, I'm here pretty much all the time, but I feel like I'm a part of every story that they go through. So if a guy goes, man, I caught this 6.5 pounder, it was my personal best, and I bought the bait here. That means when he was fishing, he thought about us at some point. That connection means something. To the guys that go way out west and go elk hunting, they go, yeah, I bought my rifle and my scope from y'all's shop. And so like we're a part of all those little stories. So I think that's really cool about the history of the store and kind of how we live vicariously through all these other peoples and the experiences they have.
Fishing it old school, this old stuff rules. Welcome to Retro Bassin.